ahead and go to the first section. You're doing number one. Number one needs to be done in your notebook because it says what is the value of 5 squared minus 10 divided by 5 times 2 to the third. What kind of question is that? Cristiano. Dave Van Daal's question. So this type of question you will be doing in your notebook. So write that down. Start solving it.
May I have your attention, please? Teachers, you may begin testing.
Why do I see people sitting, doing nothing? You are supposed to be solving this problem. And then when you're done. All right, what is the first thing that we need to look for? Levi, do we have any? All right, so Levi, within parentheses, because there's not just a number or just like one step, there's actually a couple steps in this parentheses. How do we go about solving? Right, so within parentheses, guys, remember, you follow order of operation. So Levi told us we're gonna do our exponent first, which is gonna give us 5 times 5, which is 25. Then from there, what do we do? Camden? All right, so now we have 15 divided by 5 times 2 to the third. So our parentheses are gone. What are we looking for now? Delilah? Exponent. So we have an exponent here. So we're going to do 2 times 2 times 2. Do not tell me that equals 6. Why does that not equal 6? Lily?
Because 6 is 2 plus 2 plus 2.
Right. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is, anybody? 8. So now we have 15 divided by 5 times 8. So exponents are gone. All right, now we're looking for multiplication or division. Which one do we have? Ronnie?
Division. Well, there's division and multiplication.
Okay, so how do you know what to do first?
Which one comes first?
Right, so going left to right is the order that you follow. So 15 divided by 5 is what?
3.
And 3 times 8 is?
24.
Alright, so that should be our answer for that one. Alright. Actually, I forgot we had a video to watch.
Just kidding.
So, we're gonna watch this video real quick. Apologies.
All the Chuck Norris imagery in the last video might have been a little bit too overwhelming. So for this video, I've included something a little bit more. Plus 5. Well, this literally means 2 3x plus 5s. So this is the exact same thing as, so this is 1 3x plus 5. And then to that, I'm going to add another 3x plus 5. This is literally what 2 times 3x plus 5 means. Well, this is the same thing as, if we just look at it right over here, we have now 2 3x's. So we could write it as 2 times 3x, plus we have 2 5s, plus we have 2 5s, so plus 2 times 5. You might say, hey Sal, isn't this just the distributive property that I know from arithmetic? I've essentially just distributed the 2 times 3x, 2 times 3x, plus 2 times 5, and I would tell you, yes, it is. And the whole reason why I'm doing this is just to show you that it is exactly what you already know. But with that out of the way, let's continue to simplify it. So when you multiply the 2 times the 3x, the 2 times the 3x, you get 6x. You multiply the 2 times the 5, you get 10. So this simplified to 6x plus 10. Now let's try something that's a little bit more involved, but once again, really just things that you already know. So let's say that I had 7 times, let's say 3y minus 5 minus 2 times 10 plus, let's say plus 10 plus 4y. Let's see if we can simplify this. Well, let's work on the left-hand side of the expression, the 7 times 3y minus 5. We just have to distribute the 7. So this is going to be 7 times 3y, which is going to give us 21y. If I add 3 y's 7 times, it's going to be 21 y's, either way you want to think about it. And then I have 7 times, we're going to be careful with the sign, this is 7 times negative 5. 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. So we've simplified this part of it. Let's simplify the right-hand side. So you might be tempted to say, oh, 2 times 10 and 2 times 4y, and then subtract them. And if you do that right and you distribute the subtraction, it would work out. But I like to think of this as negative 2. As negative 2, and we're going to distribute the negative 2 times 10, and then we're going to distribute the negative, or times 10, and then negative 2 times 4y. So negative 2 times 10, negative 2 times the 10 is negative 20. It's minus 20 right over here. And then negative 2 times 4y, negative 2 times 4 is negative 8, so it's going to be negative 8y. So let's write minus 8y right over here. And are we done simplifying? Well, no, there's a little bit more that we can do. We can't add the 21y to the negative 35 or the negative 20 because these are adding different things or subtracting different things. But we do have 2 things that are multiplying y. We have we'll call it this green color. You have 21y's right over here. And then from that, we are subtracting, we can view it as, from that, we are subtracting 8y's. So 21 of something, if I have 21 of something and I take 8 of them away, I'm left with 13 of that something. So those are going to simplify to 13y's. And then I have negative 35, this is a new color, and then I have negative 35 minus 20. And so that's just going to simplify to negative 55. Negative 55. So this whole thing simplified using a little bit of the distributive property and combining similar or like terms. We got to 13y minus 55.
All right.
And I like to leave my fractions improper because it's easier.
Alright, so let's go ahead and we are going to number 3. Number 3. In the same section, sorry. Alright, so number 3 is talking about okay. We have clock now. Okay, sorry, stop. Okay, Lord have mercy. Okay, so number 3 is talking about finding an equivalent expression to 25x minus 10y. Alright, so we're finding an expression that is equivalent to 25x minus 10y. What does the word equivalent mean? What does equivalent mean? Kaya? Equal. So we're looking for one that is equal. Now, what do you notice about all of your answer choices? Troy? Alright, so essentially this is distributive property. You guys remember distributive property from a long, long, long time ago? Alright, so this is having multiple choice makes this a little bit easier, and having all the same numbers starting your multiple choice makes this really easy. Yasmin, you should not be writing with a colored pencil. Does anybody have a pencil that Yasmin can borrow? There you go. So we know that the number on the outside is going to be 5, but we're going to act like we don't see this. How do you find the number that goes into both 25 and 10? What do you have to do? What do you have to do?
Divide it? Or
Well, there's a process. What do we have to find between 25 and 10?
the greatest common factor?
Yes, you have to find GCF. So you guys remember doing this? And then you have 25, 10. So what factors make up 25?
1 times 25.
Okay, what's another one?
5 times
Okay, and then what factors make up 10? What factors make up 10? Krishana? Alright, so which one is the greatest common factor between both numbers? So the biggest number that you see on both sides. Camden? 5. So 5 is the number that goes on the outside. That is where they're getting 5. So I'm going to put 5 over here. I'm going to put my parentheses. And what operation goes inside of our parentheses? There's only one option. Like, look at your answer choices. There's only one option. Aiden? Subtraction. All right. Now, the number that is multiplied by the GCF is the number that goes into your problem, like inside your parentheses. So here, 25 has an x. So it'd be 5x minus 2y. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Distributive property is something that should not be hard, but we really struggle with distributive property, and I do not know why. So then you ask yourself to check to make sure, if I distributed this 5 back into this problem, what is 5 times 5? 5 times 5. Kylie.
25.
So I'd have 25x minus, what is 5 times 2? 5 times 2, Wyatt.
10.
And then 10y. So if this matches your original, you know you've done it right, and therefore we know that that is our answer. Okay, questions about that one? All right, go to number 14. All right, what is the very first thing you notice about number 14? What's the very first thing you notice about number 14? Jonathan?
Big numbers. There's big numbers.
not even necessarily the problem, the type of problem. So again, what's the very first thing that's different from this problem to the two problems we did before? Olivia?
It's not a multiple choice.
Not multiple choice. All right, and then it's long division. So those two things in itself, this problem is extremely hard. All right, so it says, what is the value of 1,608 divided by 10 to the third power? So this one I would do in your notebook if I were you guys. So we're looking at 1,608 divided by 10 to the third power. Technically, that is what kind of question? It's pinned off. So what do we have to do first, Mikhail? You what? There are no parentheses, baby. Like, what do we do first? The exponent. So we're going to do 10 times 10 times 10, which gives us what? 10 times 10 times 10. You just put a 1 in how many zeros? How many?
3.
3. All right, so now you know that this equals 1,000. So we are now dividing 1,608 divided by 1,000. What can we multiply 1,000 by to get 1? Anybody, somebody, all hands should be up at this point because this is a super easy question. What can I multiply 1,000 by to get 1? Zoe? No. Absolutely nothing. I have 1,000 and I am trying to multiply it to get 1. Is there anything I can? No. Y'all, come on now. This is where you gotta know place value. What can I multiply 1,000 by to get 16? Levi? Nothing. What can I multiply 1,000 by to get 116? Delilah? Nothing. Now, what can I multiply 1,000 by to get 1,608? Zoe? 1. Okay, at this point, I have reached my limit of whole numbers. So now, what do I have to do? Because there's still a number down there. So what do I have to do? Camden? I have to add a decimal here. I have to add a 0 here. I have to bring this down. And then I have to add a decimal there. So what can I multiply 1,000 by to get 6,080? Emma?
6.
And you should start to see a pattern. What can I multiply 1,000 by to get 80? Aiden? Nothing. So do I just leave it blank or do I have to put a placeholder there? You have to put a placeholder there. Alright, so then I'm going to bring, what can I multiply 1,000 by to get 8,000? Just go ahead and say it.
8.
So my answer for this one is 1 and 6, 0, 8. Do you have a question?
Have we divided by a multiple of 10?
Baby, I know exactly what you're going to say. There's a ton of us that probably looked at that and said all I have to do is move my decimal 3 places to the left. But that's not what I'm teaching. I'm teaching how to make sure you get the correct answer. So if you do it a different way, fantastic. But your way, other people may not understand. Does that make sense? All right, you need to go to, I believe it's what section? 6, go to number 1. You can go ahead and get started on number 1 in your notebook. up when you have your answer. Alright, it says what is the value of x squared minus 4 plus 6 if x equals 4? So what do we have to do with this? What do we have to do with that to solve this problem? Well, there was like 15 of you that stood up, so I'm assuming 15 people know what to do with that. Troy? Okay, hold on, one step at a time. So we have to substitute this in, right? So if it gives you the value of your variable, substitute it in and rewrite your problem. So then, you said we have 4 squared minus 4 plus 6, Troy? And then what type of problem does this become? No? Like, what'd you do to solve this problem? Right, so this just becomes an order of operation problem. So we're looking for parentheses, do we have any? No. Looking for exponents, do we have any? Yes, we do. So you're gonna do 4 times 4. What is 4 times 4? 16. 16 minus 4 plus 6, so we don't have any multiplication or division, we just have addition, subtraction. How do we know what to do first? Ronnie?
Left to right.
Left to right. So what is 16 minus 4? 12 plus 6?
Oh, 18.
18. So the correct answer for this one is 18. Alright, we are doing number 2. What type of question is this? PIMDAS. So go ahead. You're finding the value of 4 squared plus 3 squared times 2 divided by 2. Stand up when you have your answer. Alright, so what do we have to do first? What are we looking for first in this problem? Okay, what are we looking for first? Okay, so we're looking inside those parentheses. I think Levi told us earlier we have to follow order of operation. So inside our parentheses, we're doing 4 times 4 plus 3 times 3 times 3. So 4 times 4 is what? Cristiano? 16 plus, what's 3 times 3 times 3? 3 times 3 times 3? 27. Okay. All right, so then what is 16 plus 27? So 16 plus 27. Ronnie?
43.
Huh?
43.
43. All right, so now we have 43 times 2 divided by 2. I have a question. Do we already have our answer?
Yes.
How many of you guys see it? Okay. So, for those of us that don't see it, when we multiply 43 times 2, we get 86. And then when we divide it by 2, we get 43. Okay? Again, nothing wrong with finishing that problem and getting your answer. But also be mindful that sometimes it's right there. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? All right, go to number 7. Oops. All right, so number 7 says which expression is equal to 3 to the 4th power. All right, this one should be pretty easy. What operation are we doing when we are finding exponents? What operation are we doing when we find exponents? Zoe? Repeating what? Right, so you're multiplying. So again, yesterday our root number is at 3. So we're repeating multiplication of 3 how many times? 4 times, because that's what the exponent is. So this is your answer for that one. Okay? All right, go to number 9. Did we already do number 9? No. Okay. For some reason, I already solved. All right. So, solve. What are we solving? What are we solving? Emma?
4 to the 3rd power.
4 to the 3rd power. So 4 times 4 times 4. Do not tell me it is 12. It is not 12. Why is it not 12? Isaac, why is it not 12?
Because 4 plus 4 plus 4 would be 12.
Right, and we're
Multiply.
perfect. All right, so 4 times 4 is what? Olivia? 16 times 4 is? 64. Now, you guys are probably thinking the last 2 questions we've done are really easy questions. But do you know how many people miss these questions? A lot. A lot miss these questions. Why? What do you think we do? Yes, who said it? Yes, a lot of us get confused and we add, or we multiply 4 times 3, 3 times 4. All right, so that is why these questions that are super easy, that we should get right away, we end up missing. All right, go to number 13. Number 13. All right, so number 13's got a whole lot going on there. So it says, what is the value of the expression 8x divided by y plus z if x equals 3, y equals 6, and z equals 9. So what do we have to do here? What do we have to do here? Camden. Yes, we have to substitute all these values into our problem, right? So x equals 3, so I'm going to do 8 times 3 divided by y, which is 6, plus z, which is 9. So now, this problem doesn't look near as hard to me. Because now we have all these crazy letters gone, we just have numbers. What kind of question does this become? Delia? PEMDAS question, right? So we're looking for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So do we have parentheses? Yes, we do. All right, so what is 8 times 3? What's 8 times 3? Emma?
24.
All right, so I have 24 divided by 6 plus 9. All right, so I got rid of parentheses. Do I have any exponents? Yes or no?
No.
No. Except for that, it does look like one, sorry. All right, now I'm looking for multiplication or division. Do I have either one of those? Adley, what do I have?
24 divided by 6.
Which is?
4.
So now I have 4 plus 9, which is what?
13.
Now, you could have also wrote this as 8 times 3 divided by 6 plus 9, if that helps you a little bit more. I just try to keep it as much like the original as possible. All right, let's do number 15. All right, so number 15, this says what is the value? Half squared plus half squared. All right, what kind of question is this? What kind of question is this? We're gonna act like we don't hear somebody's phone ringing. Let's just answer the question. Emma,
PEMDAS.
this is a PEMDAS question. All right. So we're looking for what first? What are we looking for first? Troy, do you see any? But technically no, right? Because the parentheses are just telling you that you're squaring the entire fraction, not the one. That is why there are parentheses here. So we actually do not have parentheses at all. What do we have? What do we have? Jasmine, what do we have? What are the little numbers? Exponents. So this becomes half times half plus half times half. All right, well, what is half? Okay, what is half times half, guys? Solve that problem. Stand up when you have your answer. you are. All right, so what is half times half? It's half times half. Leo, so what is 1 times 1?
1,
And then what is 2 times 2?
4.
All right, and then when we add, how do we add fractions? Because let's be real, it's been like 18 years since I've added a fraction.
Ooh.
So how do I add fractions, Emma?
You add the top numbers together.
Okay, just the top numbers. So I get 1 plus 1 is 2, and then what is my denominator?
4.
4. All right, so right now we have 2/4. Do you see that as an answer choice? But what can you do? Simplify, so I'm going to divide it by 2, which is going to give me 1/2, which gives me an answer of B. All right, that is it for problems for today. How do you guys feel about simplifying expressions? It's a ton of what? Not work.
PEMDAS.
Ton of PEMDAS. So if you struggle with the order of your how to solve these problems, I highly recommend writing PEMDAS on the side of your problems, and you just cross off as you go through them. All right. So for today, there's a couple different things that you guys have the option to do. So there are distributed property mazes. I have a copy of those. You have a choice between level 1, 2, and 3. It's up to you, whichever one you want. Murder mystery. I'm about to put the little clues up around the room. I have a piece of paper that you're going to go around the room and try and figure out the mystery. You may work with a partner, one only if you do that one. But if it gets too wild, you will not be working with anybody. Distributed property task cards. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. So distributed property task cards are linked there. If you need paper, just grab a loose leaf sheet of paper. Please do not do this stuff in your notebook. Distributed property, combining like terms practice, and then PEMDAS task cards. So I have a couple sheets that you'll get from me if you decide to do the maze or the murder mystery. And then if you're not doing either one of those, then you have the links on Canvas. Okay? Any questions with what you're doing? And you should have your station sheet. You guys should have got that on Monday. Make sure you have that so that you can fill out what you do today.